What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the college football games for Friday night. So we got Friday night lights. You guys can see the Buffaloes taking on the Cougars in Houston. We got Kansas State taking on Arizona in Arizona. And then we got New Mexico taking on UCLA in UCLA. So we're going to talk about these games, talk about some money lines for this and maybe a teaser. Then we're going to talk about some player props. So make sure you guys stick around to the end to get all of our picks. All right, everybody. So before we talk about these plays, I do want to address some comments because I've had a lot of comments asking about baseball. And listen, I'm not done with baseball. We're posting baseball in VIP. This week is just very, very hectic for me, and you guys are going to have to bear with me. I'm leaving for Houston tonight. My wife is competing in a bodybuilding competition there, or bikini competition, whatever. Anyways, my wife's competing. I'm going to be in Houston until next Monday. That being said, baseball will be back on regular schedule next week. This week, I'm just going to have to fade them. Having to choose between doing a baseball video or doing the football videos early. And right now, college football and NFL is just a place to be. I cannot not do videos for that. It's just better for the channel. It's better for the community. It's better for you guys. If you guys saw what we did last week with football, we absolutely crushed football, man. This is our profit from Sunday NFL. $6,200 profit. We profited almost $10K for the weekend over college football and NFL together. And these are just some of the slips we cashed. Here's some of the other ones. This is a net activity from, what day was this? This is from Saturday. So yeah, we profited $3,600 on Saturday. I mean, we've been killing it, guys. If you guys do want to get all of our plays, you know where to go. The link to the Discord is down in the description. The Discord is free to join. If our NFL video for Green Bay gets 500 likes, I am going to be giving away free slips in the Discord for that, free 4-man kicker slips. So if you guys do want to get that, join our Discord. Discord's free to join, like I said. If you want to get all of our plays, link to get our plays is down in the description as well. WAP, it is a VIP section of our Discord. It's $25 a month or $10 a week, less than $1 a day. It's not going to get any better than that, guys. You get every single play that I play, every one of my teasers, every one of my player props, money lines, whatever it is, you're going to get them. Plus, you get a community full of other sports-minded individuals. So if you guys want that, link's down in the description. Just wanted to throw that out there. Football has been where it's at, and we're going to continue doing that. In terms of picking a winner from VIP, I will be picking the winners and posting them in the Discord after the games end. So for the Thursday video, Friday morning, I'll pick one from the Thursday video. That way, the people who are seeing it later have a chance at winning. Same thing for this video. This video, the winner from this video's comments will be picked on Saturday morning or whatever, and I'm just going to post a winner in the Discord. So if you guys do want to have a chance at winning, just join our Discord. You'll find out who won there as well, and I'll post them every single day. Just want to throw that out there. If this video gets 200 likes, I'm going to pick a random comment down below to win a free month of VIP. So drop a like, drop a comment, make sure you're subscribed. You got to be a subscriber to win, and let's talk about some of these college football games. So first game we're going to talk about, Colorado taking on Houston in Houston. So looking at this right now, Houston is minus 186 favorites. The spread on this game is 5.5, and then the over is sitting at 44.3. If we look at the public betting, 78% of the money is on Colorado, 61% of the bets on Houston. So there's more money on Colorado, but more people betting on Houston. Looking at the spread on this, kind of the 50-50 split in terms of percent of bets. And then if you look at the money, more money's on Houston covering a 5.5 spread. So all over the place in terms of where the money's at. A lot of people thinking Colorado just takes the win at plus 180. Some people think Houston covers the spread minus 5.5. So big differences in some of these. The over, 85% of the bets, 79% of the money are on the over on this game, sitting at 44.5. If we look at how these teams have played so far this season, 2025 season, and I'll just pull it up over here. Take a look at Houston on ESPN first. So they played against Stephen F. Austin, 27-0 win. Against Rice, 35-9 win. Looking at the Buffaloes, Georgia Tech, 27-20 loss. Got beat at home. Then they went and played Delaware, and Delaware they ended up beating 31-7. So to me, Colorado hasn't really looked that good. Houston, I mean, 2 dominant wins. I mean, against nobody teams. We can come look at the strength of schedule for this season so far. Colorado's strength of schedule in victories is 15th, and Houston's at 98th. So Colorado's obviously played against some tougher teams, Georgia Tech being the main one there. But they still haven't looked that good. If we look at the total offense for this team, we can just look at who Salter, 159 pass yards, and I'm going to get something off my mic. Anyway, Salter, 159 pass yards versus Georgia Tech. We can click this game versus Delaware and see how they played versus Delaware. You can come over to box score, and we can take a look at Salter. So Salter ended up having 16 pass attempts, 102 yards. 13 for 16, had a good game. Then they brought in Ryan Staub with 157 passing yards, 7 for 10. So it's not like they needed Salter to have a good game that game. They won 31-7. No sense in risking injuries or anything like that. Salter rushed for 25 rushing yards that game as well. I don't know, man. This game's tough. This game is coin flip. I'm not going to lie. I could see Colorado coming out here and getting the dub on this one. But in terms of me making a pick on this game, I'm going to have to roll with Houston. And I just think Houston's going to get the win. I'm going to show you guys a free slip here in a minute, a teaser that I posted for $500 in our Discord. So you guys can tell it if you want, or you guys can fade it. But I just think Houston gets the dub in this one. It's kind of, trusting my gut. Colorado, obviously, could come in here and beat Houston, but Houston's look good, man. You got, I think Wayman's how you say his name. 159 passing yards, 188 in game 2. This is 27-0, 35-9. We can click their last game versus Rice. Go to the box score here as well and see how they played. So, looking at Connor, he had 188 passing yards, 15 for 22. He rushed for Dean Connors rushed for 132 yards. Wayman rushed for 23. Like, they couldn't stop the run, obviously. Obviously, they're trying to milk the clock anyway. They're up 35-9. They're going to run the ball a lot more than they're going to pass the ball here with the pass attempts in looking at 22, and then the carries looking at, 40-something. So we can't pull up player props right now. I got the Houston-Colorado game selected, and we can just go to I don't think passing yards are up right now, are they? They're not. So never mind. I can't look at passing defense in this way to make it easier. But regardless, guys, I just think I like Houston better in this matchup. And that's pretty much what I'm going to roll with. I'm going to roll with my gut. Like I said, I'll have the slip posted up here on the screen here in just a minute. But looking at game 2, Kansas State taking on Arizona, another tough game. Arizona is plus 113 at home versus Kansas State. Kansas State minus 1.5 point favorites. Then looking at the total on this one, it's sitting at 54.5. So Vegas has this right now as a shootout. If we look at the public betting on this game, you got 57% of the money, or 57% of the bets and 62% of the money taking Arizona. Then if you look at the spreads, 66% of the bets, 80% of the money on Arizona getting 1.5 points. Coming over here to the total, you got 59% of the bets and 38% of the money on the over on this total. So you guys can take that with a grain of salt, depending on what the public's doing. 2025 season so far, you can see the Wildcats have a win over Webb and Hawaii. So they beat Hawaii 40-6. Looking at the Wildcats, man, Kansas State just got beat by Army. I don't know if you guys watched my video last week talking about this game, but Kansas State, I thought, would just dominate Army. Army looked horrendous in their first game, but Kansas State come out there and got beat 24-21. They did end up winning the game before that 38-35. Lost the game before that 21-24. They have not looked very good. We can pull up Kansas State and we can click this Army game. Army's the closest, like the most recent game. So I'm going to use that one as a reference of what Kansas State did, because Kansas State were at home in this game as well. Box score on this: Avery Johnson, 172 passing yards. Stuffed the run, 14, 30, 28. Total offensive yards. It's not like they couldn't move the ball at all. But if you look at Army, Cale Helms ran the ball 41 times for 124 yards. They just gritted down the field, run after run after run. And this is not the same Army team they had last year. So I know Army obviously is that team that just runs the ball every single play. Like, sometimes you can stop them, sometimes you can't. They lost their good players from last year. Like, they're not the same team as they were, in my opinion. And we can see that. We saw that in game 1. We saw that versus Kansas State, that they ran the ball 41. He had 41 carries, averaging 3 yards per carry. Like, you're using all 4 downs just to get a first down. So anyways, Kansas State didn't look impressive. They knew Army was going to run the ball every time, and they couldn't stop the run. Pulling up Arizona, you look at Arizona and look at how they ran. This is Weber State, so like it's take it with a grain of salt. They won 48-3, but the box score on this one, you can look at some of the rushing here. Mahdi here, Quincy Craig with 31 rushing yards and 51 rushing yards. Fafita threw for 373. I think that's how you say Noah's last name. We can look at the game before that. versus Hawaii. Hawaii is probably the better matchup we want to look at, not Webster State. But you look at Fafita, he threw for 161. They ran the ball all over Hawaii. 125 rushing yards for our man Kinsey Craig, and then Mahdi right here with 23 rushing yards. So I will say player props for this game in terms of rushing yards. Craig and Mahdi are not on the board right now, so we can't look at player props for them. But I do think one of them running the ball versus Kansas State is going to have some success. I think Fafita is going to have success versus Kansas State as well. I think he's going to be able to throw the ball pretty well. I can see this game being a shootout as Vegas has it. Like we said, the total in this game sitting at like 54.5, so they got it very, very high scoring, and majority of people have it going over as well. Well, you got money, and most of the money's on the under, but regardless, over 54.5. I don't think Kansas State's going to struggle to move the ball against Arizona. I just don't think they can stop Arizona either, which is why this over 54 might be a good play. I probably won't touch the total on this one, to be honest with you, but I don't think it's a bad look if you bought it down slightly either, which is why I like teasers, honestly, on football. But regardless, guys, in my opinion, the winner of this game is going to be Arizona. I've got to take Arizona with the way they play, and Kansas State has not showed me anything this season. They have not have not looked good. They got beat at home versus a terrible Army team. Now they're on the road against Arizona, who is 2-0 right now, who's played two very good games, and I can see them having a good season. We can look at their season from last year as well. Come down here and look at the 2024 season, look at some of their big wins. Arizona beat Houston 27-3, which, I mean, that's not saying a lot. They lost to Colorado. Arizona obviously didn't have any big wins. They got beat 31-7 versus Kansas State last season, but still, man, Kansas State's not looking as good as they did last season as well. Kansas State 69% win out of 13 games. Wildcats won 33% out of 12 games. Looking at strength of schedule last season, it was 43 for Kansas State, 92 for Arizona. So I think this is actually from this season so far. But anyways, going over with Arizona on this one. Up on the screen, you're going to see the teaser that I ran for these two games. This is going to be the main bet that I have for these two games. We've got Arizona -5 or Houston -5 and Arizona +2 for the spread. Now, when we buy a teaser, both of these get 6 points. So Houston now becomes from -5 to +1. So now Houston can lose the game by 1, and we still push. Pretty much you got Houston money line right here, thinking Houston's going to win. Then the Arizona +2 becomes Arizona +8. So now Arizona can get beat by a touchdown, and we still cash this line. I don't think Kansas State beats them by a touchdown. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. Teasers on college football are not the same as teasers on NFL. NFL is way more safe. The games stay a lot closer than college football. College football teams can get beat by 3 or 4 touchdowns easily. That usually doesn't happen in the NFL, so these are a little bit more risky if you're playing on college football. Just realize that. But this is the teaser I got. I got a $525 risk to win $500 profit. So hopefully it cashes this out, Houston and Arizona, on this teaser, if you guys do want to tell. Jumping into the player props of this game. Like I said, guys, there's no player props barely at all on the board right now, especially for Colorado, Houston. There's some for the Wildcats at Wildcats, but Arizona versus Kansas State. Prizepicks has got some on the board. You can see we got Avery Johnson right here. We got Noah Fafita right here. You can go to rushing yards. There's nothing for rushing yards other than Avery Johnson, so there's nothing on the board right now. Like I said, these videos are a little bit early. What I would look for, I'd look for Craig, and I'd look for Mahdi from the Arizona game versus Kansas State. That's my personal opinion. I think that could be 2 good runs. I also like Noah Fafita's passing yards, so going to be taking Noah right here over 225.5. I think he cashes this line. He cashed it in his last game versus Webb, and he had his 373 passing yards. Game before that versus Hawaii, he only had 161, but they ran all over him, so they really didn't even need Noah to do anything at all. I think Kansas State, I think this game stays close. I think it's going to be competitive. I think they're going to have to throw the ball. I think they're going to be able to run the ball on them too as well, but, I mean, you guys can choose what you want to do here. But I like Noah right here, 225.5 passing yards, or 224.5 passing yards. I like the over, and I also like being able to take one of the running backs here in this matchup. I think playing them on separate slips is a good idea. Don't play them in a 4-man. Obviously, they're going to be fighting each other for yards. Makes it a little bit harder to cash both slips. But Noah Fafita is going to be the one play that I lock in just because it is on the board. The other one that I like Avery Johnson under rush attempts. You can get it on Prizepicks. It's on Prizepicks only, or Underdog is what I meant to say. It is on Underdog. It is not on Prizepicks, but they right now have Avery Johnson, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to pull Avery Johnson up real quick. Rush attempts, just to show you. I'm not logged into Underdog right now, so I'm not going to pull it up. But under 10.5, you can see. You can get it on Bet365, Fliff, or on Underdog. So you can get it on Underdog. It's a 0.88x. Taking him under 10.5 rush attempts. He's on this season had 8, 7, and 3 in his last 3 games. Looked terrible versus Army. I'm not saying he's not going to have a good game versus Arizona. Arizona's rush attempts is 30th average, or giving up 30 rush attempts per game, 30th or 29th ranked defense against the rush. So obviously they give up a lot. 3 more than his highest game, and I just don't see it happening. So he could. Last season, he had some games where he ran for 17 versus Arizona. Last season, you could see has some success with that. But overall, last season, he only went over this line in 38% of the games. He went under 62% of the time. Majority of the time, he's going to go under this line, and I'm going to risk it here on this one. He had 11 and 13 his last 2 games, and 2025 season so far has been under for Avery Johnson because he hasn't looked good, man. He's got lit up, and I'm going to roll with my gut on this one as well. So I'm going to be locking in these plays when they're dropped on Prizepicks. I'm going to take the Fafita with Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson is almost a regular line. So you're looking at, if you played a regular line, I'm just using Ashford here as a placeholder. But you can see it would be a 2.5x. If you bought Ashford down to something very close, so I think 175 is the closest one, it would end up being a 1.9x. So you're probably looking at a double up slip here if you play those two together. But that's what I'm going to lock in for the player props. And I know this video is a little bit shorter. I don't have as much that I can choose from just because there's really not much on the board right now, guys. I'm just trying to get this out early. So that's 4 plays. I gave you guys a teaser, 2 player props, and then a potential 3rd player prop if you run with rushing yards. If you want to look at Colorado's side of things, Colorado at Houston, you could maybe look at Wayman and see what his pass yards ends up at. I can see this game being very close as well. I don't think Houston's going to run all over them. Maybe look at Dean Connors. I don't know, man. We'll have to see what the lines get posted at because I really have no clue where they're going to come with these lines. Same thing for the Colorado side of things. Salter might get put at 150 passage yards or something. I don't know, man. I'm probably not touching Salter. I'm just saying, like, you guys have to wait for the lines to get posted. They'll be here in probably tomorrow, I would assume, is when the lines will get posted. It's currently Wednesday. These games are from Friday, so Gotta wait for those lines to come out. But this video is posted. It's going to be posted on Thursday. I'm recording it on Wednesday. So as of the recording of this video, there's not much on the board. But anyways, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. Hope you did enjoy the video. I'm sorry this is a little bit sloppy. I'm telling you guys, getting these out early is a little bit tougher than you would think just because there's not much data that you can go by. We have 1 week for college football that we can go off of. No props on the board to go off of. We can't compare the props to what they've been doing. We can't compare them to last season because we don't know what the lines are set at. And college football lines are all over the place. Sometimes you have 270 passing yards. Sometimes it's 220. But anyways, like these lines a lot, guys. I got them locked in already, and I'll see y'all in the next one.